Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Up and Adam. I am joined by my good mate, Zach, on the couch, and also very happy to introduce my new friend, Wayne. To be honest, I don't have much of an introduction because I'm just so looking forward to this because I know you've got a lot of stories and I know you've had a really interesting life. So you coach Zach, and that's how we got connected, which is great in basketball. And welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you. I feel honored to be here. So this is all happening. It's very good.
Yeah, awesome. I really appreciate your time. I'm going to sit like this. I think this works for me.
I think this is good, yeah.
Let's get started. So you're from New York.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you tell us, please, about your childhood and what that looked like? I just want to hear it all. So, your childhood in New York and obviously now you're in Perth.
Yeah.
And everything in between.
Okay. Well, childhood in New York. I'm number 5 of 7 kids.
Wow.
3 brothers, 3 sisters, and myself. And we were running around back in the 50s, so that tells you my age right there. So lived in New York, and then my dad got a job. I was born in Brooklyn. My dad got a job to Buffalo, New York. So then we moved up to Western New York when I was in high school, and tried out for the high school team, got cut. Said I'll work harder the next year, kick some butt. Next year came back, got cut. I came from a high school where at our high school, there was 109 people trying out for 4 spots. And that was the 4 spots of the seniors that left to go to college, play college ball.
Wow.
Because nobody else was giving up spots. So that's why sometimes when the kids talk here about competition, I say, I'm way ahead of you. So I know what competition is like. You know, you go to the tryout, you make 2 turnovers, and you look on the list, it goes from 109 to 73, your name might not be on it. But if you survive, you come back the next day. It gets down to 50. And if you went in for a dunk and you missed it, your name's not on it. And then you go down to 25 and so on. So I got cut the first 2 years. So I played junior varsity because I said, you got to keep your hand in. You know what I mean? And junior varsity averaged about 28 a game.
Yeah, wow.
And so they started to maybe have a look at me. And then my head coach came down to one of those games and I had 40.
Wow.
And so he thought, maybe I should give you a little shot.
Absolutely.
Maybe I should give you a little shot. But like, what I try to teach kids when I'm talking to them about is perseverance. Because to the next game, he brought me up to the varsity and we had 2 guys foul out. That's the only reason I played. So we're playing one of our arch nemesis, East High School, which is notorious for winning championships. Great school, great tradition. A lot of players come out of there and play college basketball. So we're playing, and they foul out. And my coach wasn't a big fan of me anyway. But he went down the bench, went back and forth and said, "Oh, Simmons, go in." Like, no encouragement. It's like, just go in. And so we're playing, and first time I got in, naturally nervous, turned the ball over. And he was getting ready to yank me off the court. But I came back, stole the ball, passed it to a teammate. They scored. So they said, "Oh, we're leaving for a little bit." And then we got down to the end of the game. I stole the ball, scored, then blocked a shot at my height. Back then I was like 5'6". Blocked a shot, so they're going crazy on the sideline. And then I put it in the overtime with a basket. So in the overtime, I scored 8 points. So I have 14 points for the game, right? And then the next game, I didn't play a minute. Not 1 minute. So I'm sitting on the bench. So that's why I say you've got to have some, intuitiveness and realize that it's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people want it to happen right then and there. Why isn't it happening right there?
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm looking good, but that's not how it really works. And so I drew from that. I learned a lot from that. I went home. I had to cry. I'm not going to lie, But then I said, can't feel sorry for yourself. You got to get up the next day and work and show them. And I started to use it as a challenge that I'm going to get so good that he can't deny me. And that's where I look at instead of, oh, okay, yeah, he didn't treat me right. And that's the mentality I kind of want to give to the kids I coach. It's like,
I want to go back to the childhood, but just where we are right now. A quick question: do you find that kids these days struggle with that? What you're saying, like with the persistence?
yeah,
they
do.
they give up easier.
They give up a lot easier
Yeah.
here. The new generation is because you can stroll on your iPad or on, your phone, and you see these people being successful and you expect it to just happen for you like that because you start. But it's a process, and nobody sees the process behind going to that point. Nobody sees the hours, the labor, the putting up the 1,000 shots, the frustration of not
That's
getting
true.
there, the
Yeah.
injuries, and you fight through injuries. Nobody sees that. They only see the finished product and say, I want to be like the finished product.
Yeah.
But they don't understand there's a journey.
I never really thought of it like that, but
Yeah.
social media must play a big part.
Oh, it
because
plays a huge part.
It's so if you're interested in what you're looking at, you're like, oh, that's amazing, I want to do that. But at the same time, it's almost a bit of a tease because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's too out of reach.
Yeah.
That's too far for me to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And so if it doesn't happen right, it's instant gratification. We're in that era with the young people now. Not all young people. We got some really good young people.
Like me, thank you. No, I've definitely dealt with that though, for sure. Like dealing with just having to push through, being on wobble as well.
Yeah.
First year wobble, having to fight through the minutes, the minute restrictions, all of that stuff. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd say you hold your head up pretty high, Zach. When
Yeah.
I used to play basketball, because I used to love basketball too, but there's a big difference between Zach and I, and I'm not proud of it. It must have been a childhood issue, but I'd be so frustrated, and if I don't play well, but Zach can kind of hold himself and, shake their hand and be a good sportsman. And I was as well, but I'd put a lot of pressure on myself. I'd get pissed off, I'd shove someone in the back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm like, I don't know why. I was pretty tough on the basketball court, not tough outside of the basketball court. I'll get so into it and be so angry, and it wouldn't work in my favor a lot of the time. But anyway, I'd say that you do a good job of that, Zach.
Thank you.
Pushing
thank you.
through,
Yeah.
sticking through it, yeah.
It's definitely hard. Like there's so many aspects of the basketball game. Like you got to deal with the other bench, them trying to put you off, the audience, the pressure the audience gives you, and then you judge yourself. So
Yeah.
I've been dealing with that a lot more, getting into wobble with so much more pressure I put on myself when I shouldn't really put it on me, because it's just a game, I should
Yeah.
just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I used to sometimes invite girlfriends to watch me play. Big mistake.
Oh,
That'll be the worst
that's a
games of my
big
life
mistake.
because I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to play.
That's a big mistake. I've seen people do that, and they're like shooting a shot, and they're looking over at the girl. No, you can't. You got to focus, baby.
Oh, it'd be good if I made the shot, but
Yeah, it'd be nice.
the pressure of them watching, I was like, oh, why did I do that? Okay. So did you love basketball your whole life? What age did that come into?
I played. See, this is the thing. On our street, it was so funny. If hockey was on TV, right, Stanley Cup, all right, in the wintertime, the street would freeze over. We'd go out, put up goals, and play hockey at the halftime of a hockey game. So we have our little sticks, and we're out there battling and stuff like that. And then if basketball was on, we'd put up a crate on somebody's garage. Bang, bang, bang. That was the hoop. We're dunking on each other, playing like you. Back then, everybody just was more outdoorsy, and they played more. Kids played more. They got out. Now kids are on gaming, and that's the playing, the actually getting out there, climbing trees and do all that. That's gaming now.
Yeah.
So it's a different era, different perspective. And I have to say that a lot of kids are missing out.
For sure.
They don't know it, but they're actually missing out on
definitely.
good things and good life experiences if
Yeah.
they did that. So we did that. Like we played football, I played gridiron, and we did that like a lot. And we'd go in different areas and challenge people. Let's go. You're 11 against ours. Let's go and play and have fun. So the whole summer. Because my mom was cool like this. She was strict, but she said, look, in the summertime, I know you school all year, you want to play. As long as you're at home, check in like noon, get something to eat, check in, and then you get home before the lights go down, we're cool.
Yeah.
So she let me go out and actually grow and experience stuff. Like, so yeah, so from that aspect, it was just a different era, like in
Yeah,
the
for sure.
60s, 70s, and all that.
How did you go in school as far as education goes?
First part, like, I was like a C plus student, all right? But once I realized to get to college, because like my family wasn't gonna have the money, 7 kids for us, yeah. So I knew that. So I said, I have to be better academically to even, regardless of my basketball skill set, to have even an opportunity or sniff to do that. So I started taking more time with my studies and really taking it seriously because I knew, like, even if you're a good player, then somebody comes to see you and then they go look at your grades. We can't. Sorry,
Yeah.
mate.
Oi, quick pause. If you're getting something out of these conversations, that's the whole point. Different people, different stories, but a reminder that we're not alone. So please hit subscribe, share with your mates. There's plenty more coming. And it makes me look a lot more professional than I am. Back into it. Yeah,
Because we don't want to get you here and then you flunk out in the first trimester. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So I started to take more time. Now, towards my senior year, I was a B plus, sometimes A student, depending on the subject and stuff. So I changed in that regard. And when you do that, then you have to sacrifice. And my sacrifice was a lot of the friends I was hanging out with that weren't doing it. I stopped hanging out. You just gotta make a choice. There's a crossroads in your high school career where you gotta make a choice whether you're gonna be with the people that really want to make something out of their life or you're gonna be with the cool guys.
Yeah.
And then you find out with some of them, they're really big cheeses in high school, but that's the zenith of their life because you see them later on 5 years down the track and stuff. You know, some of them unfortunately off on drugs or got 8 kids, different daddy mamas and all that, baby mamas, all that crap. So they didn't really utilize the time that they had. They didn't take their education seriously. And it kind of eventually blew up in their face because they couldn't find employment. Then you got to go the other way. You know, out in the streets hanging out, hoping you know, catch a break, which most people don't.
Yeah.
So I made that decision probably about the end of my sophomore year. And it changed a lot for me. My friends' direction changed. You know, I actually started hanging out with more nerdy people because they were more serious about the education side of things. And, you know, I caught crap for it, but I said, you know, I learned. Like, this is what I tell kids now. The majority of the people that you're with in high school during your high school time, 5 years down the track, you'll never see them again.
Yep.
You'll never see them again. So I tell the kids when I do seminars or something at schools, why ruin your life with somebody probably after these 2 or 3 years of high school, you'll never see them again. You know, they'll be off at another town or they'll have 10 kids or they'll be off doing this, that, and the other. You will have no interaction with that person. But that time you're in school, if you don't take care of business, that could leave you in a bad situation for your life. I used to run sporting programs down here at Banksia Hill Detention Center, okay, before it got all crazy. And I talked to the kids, and after a while you get to know some of them because they're in there so long. I think each time it's about a 6-month stint. And I talked to some of the kids. I said, you're a pretty good kid. Really, why are you here? And they say, went out one night and my friends stole a car. I didn't know we were going to do any of that stuff. I was just wanting to hang out. And then, oh, come on, man. So they jump in the car. Now you're accessory. Detention.
Sad.
It's sad because it doesn't matter that your heart was an end that you didn't want to do that. You made that choice to get in that vehicle. And this is what we try to tell kids now. Your choices now, every day, are going to affect your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Every day. And that's the message I try to give to the kids. You know, if you don't study this day, it's going to affect. If you playing sport, if you don't work on your sport, your fitness, all your attention to detail, if you don't do that, it's going to affect. If you don't take care of your body, proper nutrition, all that, it's going to affect.
Yeah.
There's an action to every reaction you have. So, and that's the thing that I try to preach to the kids now. And some of them get it. Like I've got kids that I've trained. They now playing for the Wildcats.
Yeah, awesome.
You know what I mean? Big JLA, the center there. Yeah, we still talk. Like, you know, and I message him after every game. You did this. This was great. This is after every game. Without,
So cool.
you know what I mean? So I've got people. Sunday Deck, I trained him for a while too. He just signed a contract over at Can's Taipans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know the coach. I used to work with the coach that he's playing for, Adam Ford. So all those guys, it's all those connections, you know, that you make. Because I've coached in the last 30 years probably about 9,000 kids.
Wow.
Okay, well, let's slow down. Let's slow down for one sec, Wayne. So obviously, yeah, mentoring and coaching and all that's a big part of your life. So I can't wait to hear how that began. Let's just go back to what was next in your basketball career. Did you make professional? Were you living in Europe at some point? Like what was next in your life?
Okay.
What was the chapter?
My senior year of high school, I said I've got to do something really to stand out and try to make it big, so I can get a chance at a scholarship. And so my senior year, I averaged about 17 a game. We had a guy on our team that was one of the top players in the state. Actually, probably one of the top players in the nation. He was a big point guard. He was a Magic Johnson for our age group because usually guards were around my height. He was 6'5".
Yep.
So he was the Magic Johnson behind the back. You know, so we'd go to practice and it'd be 5 or 6 scouts from major universities sitting there watching him play. They didn't care about us. But it's like this. All right, you move out of the way. What's he doing now? He's gonna dunk. Yeah, it was that type of vibe and stuff like that. So you kind of got to make yourself known. So I had a pretty good year, and like for us at our high school, if we did something well, it got in the newspapers. Sometimes some of the games would be partly televised, and So I remember one game I hit the winning shot, and I had about 22, 23 points. We won the game by 1 off that shot. And the newspaper killed me. I'm trying to get a scholarship. The newspaper said, well, Wayne Simmons hit the winning shot, was a fadeaway over 2 people, blah, blah, blah. So I'm feeling good. Then it said, before they made a turnover, not looking at all like a hero.
Oh,
Stop.
Come on.
Stop. Killing me. And then one game, Reese Harrison, this guy I'm talking about, he had 55 points, but I had 35. And this is how they wrote it up. It was about a paragraph on the guy. And then they said, Wayne Simmons chipped in with 35 points.
Not just chipped in.
I just chipped in with 35 points. They couldn't say anything good about me. I shot about 70% from the field. And this was before the three-point line.
Yep.
Wow.
There was no three-point line and no love. Like, even the announcer, I'm like, I had everybody against me. So I'm used to, like, if I do good, they find some way to twist it like I wasn't all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if he had a bad game, he had a subpar game. He had 18. But he had 12 assists and he had 5 rebounds.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is. Because back then, our coaches were like, if we get a really good player and we back him, maybe we can get an assistant coaching job at one of the major universities. So they back the best player.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they don't really care about you. And if the best player don't like you, because I used to go at him.
Yep.
I didn't care that he was the star. I picked him up full court and everything. Just to get frustrated to get off me. Look, we're playing now. I'm not getting off you till the practice is over. When you go home, you're going to feel me on your back. You know what I mean? So the coach was like, oh, no, we can't have that. We can't upset our star. So when they could sit me, they sit me so my numbers go down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was a lot of pressure because if your numbers go down too much, nobody look at you. No scholarship offers. So I actually only had one scholarship offer to a junior college. He had about, 70, 80. I had one. And so I said, I'm going to make the most of this one. It was a junior college. So I went to Cisco Junior College in Cisco, Texas. So I said, okay, we'll see how we go. I averaged 34 a game.
Nice.
I was the third leading scorer in the nation. I had 4 games over 50.
Wow.
My highest game was 57. So
Wow.
I was like, no offense, but up yours.
Yeah.
I'm not bad. I'm not as bad as y'all said. You know what I mean? And so I made first team All-American junior college. And then I went from 1 scholarship to 150 scholarship offers.
Wow.
150 in 1 year.
Wow.
150.
lot.
Everybody was, I had, usually you'll get a call from a scout. I had head coaches, which never happens, calling me. I was at school one time and they said, hey, does somebody want to speak to you? It sounds long distance. It was Abe Lemons, who was the head coach of the University of Texas Longhorns.
Really?
They
Wow.
had just won the NIT that year, and they had 2 players going to the NBA.
Wow.
And he rang me. So that's how it was. You
That's-
know what I mean?
that's cool.
And before they do it, they do all their homework. They check on the people you played against. They get info. They get info from your coach. Before they even approach you. So they know more about you than you.
Yeah, right.
Or they're not going to mess with you. If they think you got any holes,
Yeah.
they're not even going to call. When he rang me, I was like, I ain't going to lie. That's the first time I was like, oh, Mr. Lemons. Because I had just been watching him on TV when the NIT. So I was like, but yeah, so I went down there for a visit, went to a couple of schools. So there's 4 schools that you get to visit for 48 hours, only 48 hours, because they know the schools will try to smooze you and
Yeah,
offer
okay.
you all kinds of stuff. So they
Yep.
get you in and out.
Yeah, right.
And so everybody has a pitch,
Yeah,
that they're going
okay.
to give you. And for me, it was a big shock from a guy that was 1 scholarship offer to that.
Yeah, I bet.
Huge offer. I was getting written up in the Washington Post. No
Wow.
joke. Sporting Post.
Yeah,
In the Washington Post. Wayne Simmons had 44 points in the,
Yep.
it was crazy. But the thing is, though, nobody saw the 4 hours a day I practiced outside of our training sessions. See, that's what nobody saw. The 6 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? Shooting the ball, shooting 500 or 600 shots, then going to showering, going to class, then doing my pre-training where I'd run 10Ks, and then go to the training. See, nobody saw all that.
Yeah.
Or then the 2 hours afterwards in the library, nobody saw that.
Mm-hmm.
They just saw the points. That they didn't see the sacrifice. And that's what the point I try to get to the kids is, it's the sacrifice you got to be willing to give to get to where you want to go.
Yep. That's true. That's very true.
That's the sticking point for a lot of young people.
Yeah.
That's the sticking point. And then, you can't have a situation where I always look back on what Michael Jordan's mom told him when he got cut. He came home looking for some sympathy. He came home looking for some sympathy, some suck up. And his mom said, well, train harder, work harder, do more. You know what I mean? So, and that changed him. And then that next year, he started All-American. The next year after that, #1 player in the country, high school player in the country. It's all changed. It's an attitude switch. It's an attitude
mentality.
adjustment. It's an attitude adjustment. If you think you're average, you'll be average. If you think you're just okay, you'll train like a person that just wants to be okay. You'll be an okay player. What do you think of Son? Oh, he's okay. What do you think? Oh, yeah, he's all right. He's all right. You know what I mean? But the really good players that put in the hard work and sacrifice, that guy is spectacular. Oh, my God. You got to go see this kid. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Ja Morant, perfect example. He was playing AAUs all over the place, wasn't getting looked at. This guy from Murray State was watching, he was on court one watching other players. He didn't know about Ja Morant. So he has to go take a toilet break. He goes by and this guy 360s. So he goes by and starts watching the training, then rang his head coach. Hey, you got to come down and watch this kid. This is some freakish stuff.
Yeah.
And then Murray State, 2 years, #2 draft pick.
Wow. Yeah.
#2 draft pick. It's life, like I said, that's life.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Yeah.
But it's just that, like with everybody, you're going to get an opportunity, but you got to be ready when that opportunity hits you.
Got to be ready.
When that opportunity hits you, when the opportunity's in front of you, you got to have done enough work to get it.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
the same way with me with music. I didn't know anything about music. I just listened to music. And then a friend of mine won this talent contest called New Faces, which, remember Daryl Q. Summers, who run Hey Hey It's Saturday?
Yeah, yeah. Daryl Summers, yeah.
Daryl Summers. He ran another show similar to that where he was just like getting music talent.
Okay.
And a friend of mine named Bo Smith, he won it in '88. So he wins the talent thing. So he wanted some dancers. So and me and my friend, he asked us, and I said, okay, yeah, we'll see how we go. I don't know anything about this, but sounds fun. And we rehearsed a bit, and then it was so funny. On the night, I thought it'd be like, 100 people, the big venue, 100 people came here. They'd be, hello, hello. You wouldn't even hear them. When we were back there warming up, and then we said, oh, how many people are there? They said it's about 2,000 people. We have to move people. We have to get security to move people off the stage. Back then, I said, oh, that's great. And I went in the toilet, threw up, because you're so nervous.
Yeah.
That's my first time actually trying to perform in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was all fun and games till I saw all the people, and I said, that's not funny. I really got to do something. So the gig's going great, the crowd's responding, and then his mic went out. But because me and my friend had rehearsed these songs, we knew all the words. I grabbed this mic and started singing the words, and the crowd was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Then they turned his mic back on, and we finished the show. And right after that, I was with some friends, and they said, y'all need to start a band. And that's how it all started.
Yeah, wow.
That's how it all started. Start a band. And when you hear that, you get discouragement in that. So we started a band. We wanted to be a different band. So what we did was we realized that back in the States, they were doing choreographed dance moves. So we started doing dance routines, whereas back here it was all rock and roll and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were totally different. And remember people discouraging us, telling us, man, that's not going to work here. You're in Perth. Come on, man. This is Sleepy Town, Australia. And back then, this is like the 80s. And we said, no, we're going to see how we go. Within 2 months, we were working 7 days a week.
Wow.
So they weren't right. We was doing TV shows and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. So it's just, sometimes it's just taking that leap of faith.
Yeah, for sure.
And not being afraid of the repercussions.
Yeah. And obviously, so the music side of things, which, I'm really keen to hear about. Your discipline with basketball obviously played a big part in that as well. Like you're saying, when there's 2,000 people and you shat yourself, you threw up. It's just like, instead of going, no, I can't do this. You're like, no, I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
See what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
amazing.
I'm gonna have a crack, and that's how I've lived my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something I want to do. If it's as long as it's positive, it's not gonna hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I have a crack.
Yeah, it's a good way to be.
You know, man, I have a crack. I've done programs for people where there was a program called Adventures WA. Now, it was locally run. It just started in 2003 here. And I've always had jobs where I was helping people. Like, everybody has their calling, has their thing. I've always had jobs where I was helping people.
Yeah.
And so this Adventures WA, they were looking for ways to help impact young kids in the community. So we realized that they researched there was a lot of kids that were truant from school. They weren't going to school. And sometimes people think it's just the kids. No, it's their circumstance, their situation. And we found out with a lot of kids, it's because they don't have any, a lot of them weren't eating but maybe once or twice a day because the parents were out doing whatever they were doing or on drugs or just selling or doing craziness. And so it wasn't that the kids didn't want to go to school. It wasn't that they didn't want to learn, but they had nothing to facilitate all that.
Yeah.
There was no pathway. And so we identified some kids initially, and we had a van. So I used to drive down to Curtin University, pick up a van from Curtin University, and I have an address for all the kids. I drive, pick up the kids. We started with about 6 kids. and I pick them up. And then I organize through McDonald's. So we get them a feed, you know what I mean? So early in the morning, they get breakfast. So I pick them up, put them in the van, drive to McDonald's, pick up the food. They'd eat on the way to school. And for some of them, that was the first meal they had in 10 or 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
You know, no dinner, nothing. You know, sometimes the mom or the dad weren't even home. And, you know, I'd come to the door and the mom would have a black eye, so I know she had a bad night. You know what I mean? And I just pick the kids up, and the kids be so glad to see me. It's not even funny. And then what I used to do is I'd be driving the van, and when we got with the older kids, 12, 14 years old, they'd come in and they'd sit next to me, and they just start talking because they felt comfortable.
Yeah.
So they just start chatting, and then you find out they were getting molested, abused, all kinds of stuff I can't even speak to on camera. And so then I would notify DCP, and then, you know, child services would obviously try to step in and do what they could do to help the kids. And it was just, we used to just call it the hot seat, and they just go up there and I let them spill their guts. I didn't say you should do this or do that. I just let them vent. And then they do that, then I get in touch with DCP, and then they look further and further into their situation and try to help those kids. So we did that, and we won an award statewide for what we were doing in the community. And then we were able to get some more funding. So at the height of this, we had 4 buses, and we had 4 of the drivers, and they were picking up kids along with myself, and we was taking them to school, and we was using McDonald's to feed them and all that, and, you know, and we did that for about 2 or 3 years, and it was a very successful program. I actually met the Prime Minister at that time, John Howard, to receive some awards, some guys that were in the community that were doing work for the community. So I received the award for that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the Peter Ball Memorial Award. The Peter Ball Memorial Award was it's named after a police officer who died in the line of duty.
Yep.
So I won one of those, and the Prime Minister of Australia at that time, John Howard, was there seeing everybody get their awards. So that was kind of like a big moment too.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so
What led you to Perth?
I was traveling around the world. Well, before that, there's a few things I'm skipping here. Because we could be here all day. But before that, I was playing professionally for Barcelona.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I played there from 80 to 83.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, huge experience. Incredible.
Yeah, I bet.
Great, incredible time in your life. Unbelievable. Because right after college, I tried out for the Phoenix Suns. I didn't get drafted. And so I made it to the last cut. And they actually, through my agent, sent me to Barcelona.
Yeah. Okay.
How old were you then?
21.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
How many years were you in college?
I was in college all 4 years.
All 4 years. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
all 4 years. Because back then, a lot of players weren't leaving early.
They weren't
all
one
this
and
stuff,
dones.
freshman one and done. There was none
Yeah.
of that.
Okay.
And you wouldn't have survived anyway, because back then the NBA was a lot more physical.
Yeah, it definitely was.
You know what I mean? People would slam you to the floor. You wouldn't survive. You went in that weight room and doing what you needed to do. So very few players went straight out of high school in it. There was none of that. There was one player that did it, and that was Moses Malone, who was a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
but he was about 6'11", 250,
big.
260.
Big boy.
So you weren't going to just knock him around. So that wouldn't happen. So he could do it, but most of everybody else stayed the 3 or 4 years. Michael stayed 3 years.
Yeah.
And he probably could have went after his freshman year. So most of the time, that's the way it was back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, before that, so I'm skipping, I was in the Marine Corps. So after I finished there, I went to Marine Corps because I came from a family where I had 6 uncles serving Vietnam conflict. I had people serving World War II. So we've always had family. We said we give a little bit to the, whatever service was Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines. And then you can decide whether you want to be a lifer or you want to finish after the 4 years.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I finished up with my b-ball and stuff like that because I got injured. And back then, this is how they did it in Europe. Okay. You have 2 or 3 tough games or you get injured, You go back to your locker and it'd be two envelopes. One be your envelope of your pay, the other one be your plane flight home.
Wow.
Back then, that's how it was. Because they was getting people that was finishing up in the NBA.
True,
It
it's
was
very
coming over.
cutthroat.
So it was very cutthroat.
Yeah.
But the one thing about Europe is if you last a certain amount of time, they pay you out your whole contract.
Yep.
So they didn't screw you over in that
That's good.
regard.
Okay.
That's
So like, if let's say you played 15 of the 30 games, you get your full contract and
Yeah.
then let you go. Like if you're injured or something, you can't. And they go to the doctors and say the rehab's going to be X amount of months. They got to play, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
got to get the fans in the stands. And so they'll let you go, but they'll pay you out. They won't mess you around.
That's good.
Yeah, so that was good back then. That was really good. And so, yeah, I'd been in, finished that up. Then I said, I'll do my time because we've all, as tradition, we've done it. And so I enlisted. And my first duty station after I got trained and stuff, first was 29 Palms, California. And 29 Palms, California is right on the San Andreas Fault.
Yep.
So you're standing right on the fault. So in the morning when we, 06 in the morning, you're doing this, right? If the ground starts trembling or shaking, the whole bus is gone.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
San Andreas Fault. If it started, if it was like a 5.2, 5.3, see you around.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Everybody on the base. We all knew that. You stand there, you can see the crack. You stand there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Full
That's
on.
intense.
Yeah, it's full on. Yeah, it's like so every day, yep, I'm good. Yeah, I'm here, baby. Yeah. Dun, 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 I'm here, And so every day was kind of like that. And I remember running this Roger Crozier's marathon. So it was a half marathon I ran. And I trained like 6 days a week for that run. So it's, for a half a marathon, you'd be looking at about 21 and a half Ks.
Yep.
If you break it down for here, about 21 and a half Ks. So I trained for that for about 2 months. I ran that about 6 days a week, only took off on Sundays. And got used to it. And you're out there in the Mojave Desert. So you're seeing dead calves and a lot of dead stuff that's out there. And just seeing bones of like calves and on buffalo, and you just
Keep
doing
running.
your thing. Just keep on running. Hey, buddy, tough day for you, huh? And you keep on running. So for that particular event, the marathon, I ran it, half marathon, I ran in 1:18:34. So was pretty decent at the
That's
time.
pretty good.
Because we had over 350 people in the race, and I finished like 30th, which 29:30, which is not bad considering.
That's
So,
not bad.
yeah, so. But you were in the Marine Corps, so we was always doing fitness stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you're not going to be. And so then I went to my next duty station, and we were on air alert. So on air alert, that means back then, no mobile phones. I know y'all can't imagine. Right?
couldn't.
No mobile phones. So if you go into the city, you have to call up every 2 hours
Yep.
to let them know where you are. So when you're on air alert, if anything goes off anywhere in the world, you're going to be one of the units that's going to go. So you have to have your stuff already packed. So we had our stuff already packed just in case. And then you go out if you want to go out and have some fun or whatever, and come back. So October 23rd was the Beirut bombing.
Yep.
So October 23rd. So I remember the MPs getting up. Get up. Get the, can't say what they said, up. And then we're standing, and they said, yep, this is what happened. 241 Marines dead, 18 French soldiers. You're the replacement.
Shit.
So our unit was replaced. So in that moment, you have to write a will. So they have you write a will, and you ring up. So I rang up my sister. I said, don't tell mom, don't tell, this is just you. So I'm telling you, I'm going to send it to you. Don't tell anyone in the family, and that's it. And then
Scary.
you're off.
Wow.
Yeah, then you're off. And then we're waiting off the coast, but we couldn't get on because you had the Shiites and the Druzes who were firing at each other, but once they saw us, well, better target, obviously. So we remoted the ship about 3 miles away because we knew this rounds only lasted for 2 miles. And then we brought up to New Jersey. Now, New Jersey has 16-inch guns, which doesn't sound like a lot, but one shell would take this whole street out. This whole
Really?
street would be a crater. Everything in it. Everything, it would be a crater. None of this would be here.
What?
And we fired for 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
After that, you could hear a pin drop. Because we had to get ashore because you got to get the bodies out.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a choice.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice. So you're in there the next day. We the guys 2 days later with the masks on, taking out the bodies.
What's going through your head at that moment?
Oh, man, you don't have time to think.
You don't have time. Yep.
Nah, you don't have time to think. Like, okay, give you an example how crazy the days were. You know, over there, like, everybody, by the time, you know, we got to remember, Russia, it's the Cold War time, so Russia's funding this, and we're funding the other side. So we were called a multinational peacekeeping force, which when in war, war and peace, those words don't mix. So they should never even use that. But this is what we call multinational peacekeeping force. So we had to get the bodies out. So we get them out. And then sometimes you'll get a shot. Like we're sitting here talking now. Shot to come through the hooch. I jump on the floor, get my M16A1, A2, and I'm looking around like, what the heck's going on? Now, this is how it was the first few days. After a while, like the people that have been there for a while, it's, that was just a hello, welcome to country, buddy. Don't worry about it. If they really want to take you out, you'd be done.
Be done. Yep.
That's just welcome. You must be a newbie type of thing. And then I remember being there about 3 months in, and the shot had come through, I'd be like, well, when we get back to the U.S., and you just
keep going through it.
just keep going through it. You want to survive war, you become war.
Yep.
And that was it. That's how we lived.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And then the night I got shot, I was doing work for AFN, Armed Forces Network. Because when you get in the military, everybody has a military service occupation, so that's MOS. So mine was communications. So we'd be the guys with M16 going around interviewing people and all that. And then you got to get it to an editor who they change it. So if 7 people died and 15 were wounded, 1 died, 3 wounded.
Yep.
By the time it's written up. Propaganda.
Yep.
Wow.
Both sides do it.
Yep.
But you still got to get those bodies out of there.
Yeah.
And I was talking to this guy, this Marine, and we're sitting there chatting. We're in a fighting hole, and we're sitting there chatting. And then he tilted his helmet up. You're never supposed to do that. Tilted his helmet. I said, hey, buddy, don't... Boom. Shot comes through. Headshot. So he's gone. But we're taught, point your feet in the direction of the blast. You might lose your legs, but you'll survive. So as soon as he got hit, I put my legs up and pulled him over towards me.
Yeah.
Because you know the second shot is never as good as the first.
Okay.
Because they've studied you on the first shot.
Yep.
Sniper, they've studied you. So it'd be like if somebody was on that roof over there studying us and they hit you with the first shot, naturally you're going to move.
Yeah.
So the second
They don't
shot's
know
not
what's
going to be
gonna
as good.
Yep.
So the second shot, I got it in the hip.
Wow.
And then that's when next day I woke up, I'm in the hospital.
So you don't even remember what happened?
Oh, no.
Wow.
No, I had to be told. And so then the doctors come in. It's not like you see on TV, you see the beautiful nurse and nah. And a hot LZ, this is what it's like. They go down and they'll read your chart, fiddle around a little bit, say, all right, put an M on his head. Morphine. So they morphine you out, you'll be dead in 24 to 72 hours. They already know that. So that's
Really?
it. They don't do much for you after that.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he came to me, and I played like I was asleep. And so he's checking my hip and everything. And he said, well, it's good it went all the way through. That's good. And then he said, give him a wheelchair and never walk again. That's to this day, sometimes when I'm asleep, I hear that.
Wow.
Really?
To this day. Sometimes I'll be asleep, I hear that.
That's scary.
And I just get up. That's why I don't take no days for granted.
Mm.
Yeah, he said that. And I said, if you just believed in what he thought of you, then I'd be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, different story.
Yeah. And they said, oh, okay, well, you can do physio maybe once a month.
Yep.
Now I was doing physio every day. Then I was doing twice a day, 3 times a day. 8 months, I could walk. In a year and a half, I could jog. And in 2 years, I could sprint.
Whoa.
When I went to the Wildcats, nobody even knew.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah,
know,
and then you
didn't
went
know
to
the story was going to
basketball
go
again?
there.
Nobody even knew.
That's insane.
Nobody knew. Because see, especially because over here, you didn't get the European games. There was none of that. This is like mid-'80s. So they didn't know who I was.
Yep.
So I'd been to Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, and I'm traveling around. And I'm sitting here in a hotel on Riverside Drive. I'm sitting in a hotel, and they said, Perth Wildcats. I didn't even know they played basketball in Australia. Straight up.
Yeah,
and
right.
so I go down to the game. They win the game. Everybody's happy. And shout out to those 2 security guys that let me walk by. That's one time I'm glad they didn't do their job. Because the game was over. I walked right down to the locker room. I asked people where the locker room for the players. I walked right down to the locker room. 2 security guys, big guys, like, walk up. Look like they'd eat me. And I just went, hey, how you guys doing? Hey. Let me walk right past. Man, shout out to y'all, man. Straight up. Because if y'all had said stop, I would have stopped. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
That was life-changing. So I knock on the door, and so Cal Bruton comes to the door. Now you can imagine, you're a professional athlete, and somebody does this. Hi, man, how you doing? That's a great game today. Fantastic. Love your work. I'm here on vacation. They didn't know I played. I'm here on vacation, and I saw you guys play. You guys look great. I was just wondering if I could train with y'all while I'm here. You know, I'll be here for about 3 months, you know. You imagine the look I got from the head coach.
Yeah.
Y'all can imagine, right?
Yep.
And the people listening. So you got James Crawford, Tiny Pender, and all that. You can hear them laughing, killing themselves in the background. Like this. Can you believe this guy? Unbelievable. So Cal's trying to be cool. He's like, yeah, unfortunately. And he's trying to control it too. You know, everybody's in the back. They all laughing. Like, we're a professional team, and you can't really just come in off the street and play. And so I picked up his accent. I said, Cal Bruton, are you from New York? He said, yeah. I said, I'm from New York too. Oh, man. We talked for 2 hours. I'm sitting there eating pizza with him, chatting and everything.
Yeah,
I said, okay, I know I can't make the team or anything. Can I just come down and train with you guys? And he said, nah. I said, can I come down and just watch y'all train? Maybe I can pick something up.
Do they know who you are yet or no?
No, they have no idea.
No idea yet, okay.
No idea yet. So I said, he said, oh, yeah, I guess that won't hurt. So they don't know. I was running 10Ks and shooting about 500 shots. And then I go down there and I just be sitting there like, you know, just like, la, 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 la. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Wonderful. And it was a guy named Adam Brennan who was from Melbourne. See, he wanted to go back and play with Andrew Gaze and all those guys because he's from Melbourne. He's local.
Yeah.
But the Wildcats picked him up. So he started doing stuff like, oh, my back, my neck, They got tired of it.
Yeah.
And I said, I was there for about a week. And I said, well, guys, I've seen y'all plays. I've been watching what y'all do. You think you guys could maybe let me train with you? See how you go? See how I go? Calling him, killing himself. They killed himself, laugh. I think we've gone over this before. But I mean, like, he's not going to be here. And what do you think? Maybe I could see how you go? And then they just got tired of me asking. You know how you get tired of a pest?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and do it. So we started doing the running and conditioning. I was lapping them.
Really?
Oh, I was lapping them. Dip, 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 dip. Like, we had this thing where you had to go up and down 10 times, where you had to sprint up and down 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be back before they'd be on 6.
Yeah, right.
7. And this with James Crawford, Tiny Pennant on them. I'd be back. They'd be like, the heck's going on here? Who is this guy? Was he from the planet Zolon or something? So then we start playing in the game scrimmaging, and I'm kicking some tail. And they're like, can you come back tomorrow? And that's how it all started. Then they had a tryout for that 13th spot, and I got it.
Really?
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Oh,
So
how
it's
good.
just why I say being consistent, being persistent, and being ready when the moment comes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if I hadn't done that 10K work, if I hadn't done the shots, if I hadn't done, the key is you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah. It sounds like you did,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. If you don't believe you can accomplish it.
Mhm.
And see, nobody had known I was played in Europe. Nobody had known I'd been shot.
Mm.
Because at the end of the practice was so hard. Everybody was limping.
Everyone was tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you couldn't tell.
Mm.
But they had no idea till I finally opened up
Yeah,
about
wow.
a year
It's
in.
amazing. Were they good days when you look back
Oh,
at?
man, fantastic.
Yeah, I went to a Cal Britain, like a sports academy,
Yeah.
Joondalup Stadium when I was in high school.
I did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was about year 10. It must have been, 1995. He
Yeah.
had like a 2-week training program.
Oh,
and his
God.
son, what's his son's name? CJ.
CJ.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, man. CJ.
wow.
I've known CJ, Austin, all of them since they were like, CJ was 11 and Austin was 5 or 6.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
dude.
amazing.
Yeah.
What about those key players that you speak about? Are they still living in Perth? A lot of them?
Well,
or?
Cal's over in Canberra.
Okay.
And CJ, because he's doing coaching, sometimes he's in China. Like, he's all over the shop
Okay.
now because, for a while he's coaching the Adelaide 36ers.
Yeah, right.
And he's the most capped player in NBL history. He's got 6 championships.
Really?
6.
I didn't know that.
I remember
I
as a
didn't know
little
that
kid.
either.
And you know what he used to do? He used to dribble, because they was living in Doubleview. He used to dribble from his school to home. He could tell you how many dribbles it took.
Really?
Yeah, he was into it. It was no messing around.
Yeah, wow.
Attention to detail. And that's how he wound up being the captain of the Olympic team.
Did he
Was he?
really?
Yeah, he was the captain of the Olympic team.
Okay.
Yeah, he played against Kobe. He's got pictures of him and Kobe. And I
Wow.
said, what was it like playing against Kobe? He said, not fun. Because Kobe was an assassin.
was
he didn't
something
care.
else. He was
He was something else. So, yeah, you got guys with that type of experience. But he was a little kid. Nobody knew what he was going to do.
Yeah.
They just knew he was
involved.
Cal Bruton's son. That was it.
Wow.
You know?
So cool.
So it's just how hard you're going to work.
Yeah. Was Ricky Grace playing then?
Ricky came the year after I finished up.
Okay.
But I was still like in the training sessions, but he had just came. He came because in 1988, they went to the NCAA championship and they played against Danny Manning, who was the #1 draft pick that year. And they lost 72-65. I remember all that. I can't believe I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I remember that. How the heck does that happen? It's like reverse Alzheimer's. But anyway, and then he came over here in 89.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it all started to like happen. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
even the first year I got here, they went to the championship, but they lost to Brisbane.
Yep.
Okay.
So they went to the championship. This is 87. So they went to the championship. And so it was funny because I was doing the broadcast for the games too. So I trained with them in the morning, interview people in the afternoon for the game, then do the broadcast at night.
Wow.
That's intense.
Look,
That's a lot.
quite the resume.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Now, I look back and I'm saying, how the heck you do that?
Yeah,
That's
okay.
crazy. And then you get up the next day, you train.
Yeah.
thing.
And then so then you're based in Perth. You're like, this is working for me. I'm staying.
Because we had a Senator Peter Cook, rest in peace, who was a mad basketball fan. So they organized my sporting visa. So I didn't have to, do nothing crazy like.
Okay.
So he organized it, so I was able to stay. And then I got my permanent residency in '94.
Okay.
And not permanent residency, I got my Australian citizenship. Got my permanent residency in '92.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then from there was just coaching kids.
Coaching, I did coaching. In 2011, I got Pride of Australia Award for my work in the community service and what I've been doing with kids and all that. So that happened in 2000. So I was in the newspaper, television, the whole nine, and they talked about it and stuff like that. And I was used to that. Like, because I'd done TV commercials and all kinds of crazy stuff, 60 Sunnies ads. 60 Sunnies. Yeah, so they had me dunking the ball with Sunnies on and all kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but
right.
anyway, back in the day. So did that. Did my thing with music, put out my first CD in 95. And I
Stay
was
grooving.
doing Channel 7. I was doing gigs on Channel 7 and
Yeah, wow.
sometimes occasionally get my music played on 96 FM and all that stuff. So, yeah, been around.
So cool.
Yeah.
What a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so, oh God, what have I got next for you? I love all that stuff with the mentoring of kids. And like you said, you had a job where you've always helped people.
Yeah.
So you're still doing that now, currently?
Yeah. I'm doing work where I work with the city of Wanneroo, and so I do programs for people with disabilities, programs for the elderly. Like what we used to do, this before the COVID situation, we would organize programs for the elderly, and like they tell us sometimes what they want to do. Now, some of them, God bless them, was a little bit crazy. Like you got a person that can't walk, wanted to do a skydive. I'm like, come on, homie. We can't really roll like that. Maybe in the 1950s when you were fit and ready to go, we could probably roll. We probably pull that off. But at 87, it's probably not. It's a bit of a risk. You know, you have to convince them that's a risk. But we would do stuff like we'd get on a ferry and take them over to Fremantle, have lunch. Some old people, they just want to chat. Just want somebody to chat to. And you hear some of the stories, like you hear like grandparents. When's the last time you seen your kids? Your grandparents come by. Your grandkids. Can't remember.
That's sad.
That's sad. It almost brings a tear to my eye. Like, and then they'll say, "Oh, well, how many kids you have?" You know, we had 6. And how many of them come back and see you? And you can see them getting sad, so I have to switch the subject.
That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's tough. Because I also organized with the Department of Ministry of Justice. I used to take 4 or 5, people that just got out of prison. And you know how you repatriate them back into the society. So on a Sunday, we get all our tools and stuff like that, and we they give us a list of old people's homes, and we'd go there and maybe clean up their backyards and do all that stuff, do all the cutting, lawn mowing, and all that stuff. So I did that for about a year and a bit. And then I got good at it, so then they started putting like 12 people by myself. I don't have nothing. So I've got murderers, rapists, peeping toms, all that stuff, and I've got no weapons. I'm by myself. I know I'm ex-Marine, but, I'm not Rocky.
Yeah.
I love you, Adrian. I'm not Rocky. So after that, I had to kind of like give that a miss for safety reasons.
Wow.
I was dealing with people, they got those bracelets on.
Yeah,
those people at any moment. Because you don't know the triggers.
Yeah.
And so the ministry doesn't really tell you all the triggers.
Yeah, wow.
So you don't know. You might say, "Oh man, it's great morning today." It's not great for me. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Yeah.
So I had to chill out a little bit, and I said, "Hey guys, I think we need a safer or a different role for me."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I had bikies and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, wow.
And you hear some of their attitudes, you go, "Oh my God. No, I want to be in the same room with you, thanks. Have a nice day."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you ever go back home to New York? Or did you
Yeah.
consider doing it now because the Knicks in the finals?
Oh, yeah, I thought about it.
Yeah.
I must admit, I thought about it. But when I saw those ticket prices,
Oh,
a
it's
cheap
crazy.
ticket, $7,000.
So-
And the nosebleed,
Yep.
$7,000.
Watching it from
my
space.
God.
Yeah. So you might as well be home. And
Yeah.
then all those courtside, you see all those stars?
100 grand or something.
Close to $100,000.
Yeah.
Spike Lee, Ben
Spike
Stiller.
Lee, 100 million. And see, they don't care because a lot of times they don't have to pay for the tickets. The big wigs, because it looks good on them,
Yeah.
they have the stars. So the stars can come in and next to nothing.
Yeah, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Spike Lee's been coming for about 35 years.
Yeah.
He ain't paying all that.
Nah,
Yeah.
No way.
You know what I mean? Ben Stiller always there. All those guys, so they just come in, they just rock in. Whereas you gonna pay.
Yeah.
You gonna pay, or you gonna run into Bolo the bouncer, and he gonna be getting tossed out.
Yeah.
So Yeah. So and then I thought that's unrealistic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and the watch parties outside are a bit intense.
Oh my, no, you don't want to be caught up in that.
No way.
No.
They had some of the players that used to play for the Knicks was in that. J.R. Smith was in that.
Really?
Yeah, they tackled
Wow.
him. They don't
What?
care. Yeah, but I mean in a loving
In a
way.
loving
Like
way,
yeah,
yeah.
they tackled. It's like, oh my God, this is J.R. Smith. You know, can I get a photo? Yeah,
Just
yeah,
mob
they were all up.
mentality.
But can you imagine if they win it? Can you imagine if Jalen Brunson went out there?
Oh my god.
It'd be by Jalen
yeah.
Brunson.
Yeah.
They'd rip him apart. Enjoy. Because, like I said, it's been 53 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That's a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So, you
I
know,
didn't realize.
yesterday was poetic justice that they came back.
Yeah.
I
That'll
wish I
go down.
watched that. I wish I watched that.
That'll go down as one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history for a final, without a doubt. Before that, it was in 2008 when the Lakers were up 24 at home against the Celtics.
Oh
And the
yeah.
Celtics came back and walked them down and won it. So, and then ultimately won the series. So, yeah. But yeah, that was it. I was actually in Bali for the blast too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was not fun.
Whoa.
Cause see, at that time I was doing junkets with different bands. So Pure Band, we had went over there, and the Pure Band was people from all over the place. So like me being from the US, one of the singers was from the US, the drummer was from England, the bassist was from Papua New Guinea, was all over the place, right? And so we're there. So we get there and we're rehearsing. And so that night we go, oh, I guess we'll go out. So we went out to the Sorry Club.
Yep.
So we're there hanging out. And this is why I know God is great. About 10:30, something told me, just get up and go. I didn't answer. No joke.
Wow.
Said, just get up and leave. Because we were staying at the Tropicone right behind.
Okay.
So something said, just get up and leave. I just got up and left. And there was no sense of me telling anybody to do that because that was just my feeling.
Yeah. Wow.
So I would have sounded like a psycho if I said, okay, let's go. There's going to be some danger. They'd be like, man, get out of here.
Yeah.
All these bikinis and all these beautiful young people.
Just sit back down.
Yeah. See you around, buddy. You leaving? Don't let the door hit your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so I just see you, and I left. And I left the manager. There was our drummer stayed from England because his father flew in because he hadn't seen him about 8 months. Like this drummer is like all over the place, international. So he sits in with a lot of different groups. And so I went back to the hotel, took a shower. About a little bit after 11, I heard what I thought was a firecracker. Because over there it's legal.
Yeah.
So it's legal, so I didn't think anything of it. Everybody's still part 11 o'clock. The things are just kicking off.
Yeah.
And then I heard something didn't sound right. And I heard a bang. And then people ran out, apparently, and they ran right into the real. See, the first bang was just distraction. I think one person died or whatever because the guy detonated himself in the building.
Yeah.
Right.
So one or two people passed. So naturally, everybody ran out. That's when you ran. They had the vans lined up. That's
vans,
when you
yeah.
ran right into it. So people were running right into it. They had no chance.
Wow.
They had no chance. And I'll tell you right now, I was up on the third floor. I flew across the room.
Really?
And military, thank God, point your feet in the direction of the blast. I was on my way out the third story. On my way, see you around. And I hooked my leg around the bed. Boom. Hit my head. I'm knocked out. So I'm laying in bed, knocked out. And then, because I had my telly on, all you saw was CNN. And they showed my hotel downstairs burning. And we couldn't leave.
Yeah.
We couldn't leave because where you gonna go?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nowhere you can go. So we were just stuck there, and they were saying probably about 5 or 6 o'clock, maybe y'all could leave. And let's face it, I'm not blaming Bali. Nobody was prepared for that.
No.
No, but there was no intel. Nobody was prepared for that. Like, and you know, all of that stuff, fire department, all that's pretty primitive compared to what we got over here.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you just have to sit it out. When I woke up, you sitting out, and imagine seeing your burning. And then they're putting people into the pools, people that, you know. And then you just see them bobbing up and down, so you know what's happening there.
Wow.
And so then about 06, 07, you just get your stuff. You can't really take nothing, but they're plugging us over to the other side of the island. And you see ice blocks on bodies, because that's all you had. You know what I mean? That's all you had. And then we go to the other side, and then we was trying to get past the embassy, and we had to stop because they tried to get through the embassy, U.S. embassy, and they couldn't. So they just detonated the bomb outside. So it was a big crater. So we couldn't get around it. You couldn't get the vans around it. So you had to drop the vans, get your gear out the van, walk around for about a mile and a bit, and then on the other side, the people that's waiting on the other side, they had to come pick us up. They couldn't get across. See, if people, this thing blew out windows 1,000 meters away.
Really?
Yeah. And the weirdest thing that I saw the next day amongst all the carnage was Patty's. Everything else was blown up, and there was a statue of a Buddha still there. That was it.
Wow.
The statue. You come in the door, a statue of the Buddha.
Just still sitting there.
That was it. That was it.
That's
Yeah,
That's
That was it. Crazy.
very crazy.
Very
You know, I mean, you in the military, you expect. But on holidays
Not
or
at all.
you doing a music gig, you don't expect.
no, not at all.
No.
No. And we lost our drummer too.
That's
Oh.
really sad.
And happened to tell his dad, who came over here just to see him. Thank God he got to see him.
Yeah.
But he came over there just to see him. And the sound that he made when we told him, it's not worth reliving. You know what I mean? The kid was 24 years old.
The drummer.
Yeah.
That's
baby,
sad.
Baby.
I think we had like a soccer team as well.
We had
Pretty
Kingsley.
local kids junior
Kingsley.
soccer team. Yeah, Kingsley. Yeah. Yeah. So horrible. So
Yeah.
sad.
Crazy.
And was it just chaos? You couldn't leave.
Oh, it was
It was
chaos.
just mayhem for weeks. People were stuck there and
Well-
wanted to go home, but they couldn't. And
It was because you didn't know when the next one was going to go off.
yeah.
So it was 2 days before we could come back and get our gear.
Okay.
And just walking through where it all happened, eerie as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took photos of it because I said, this is so eerie that, I've got to have a memory of this. But it was just weird. Like everything was there. Seeing cars crumbled up like it was a piece of paper.
Like a ghost town.
Yeah, it was really weird. And you're
Yeah.
just walking back and everybody's walking to get their gear. It was the strangest feeling.
She was so anxious having to walk through again.
Oh my God. And then they had the posters up of people missing.
Yeah.
I don't even know why they put missing up. If you didn't make it.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
just
That's
Sad.
Yeah, no, you didn't make it. And all those holiday goers, like my heart goes out to the families and stuff. That's just
no.
That is
Yeah.
sad.
I know.
sad. So
Horrible.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why, just to get things positive again, do you think that's why you are the way you are? You carry yourself, you put a smile on your face because you've seen suffering and, people, you don't want to take life for granted.
Nah, you can't take a day. If I could say this to any young people, don't take a day for granted. Don't take a day for granted because nothing's promised to you.
No.
Nothing's promised. I'm sure that those people that are out there partying, having a good time at that club, that's the last thing they expected.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Last thing they expected.
Yeah.
And and you go through that region and anything can happen. 2000, so that was in 2002. 2003, because like I said, at that time I was doing junkets every 2 or 3 weeks. And then I'd be here for about 3 months so I don't lose my job.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 2 weeks I cruise some leave, then back doing the junket. So we were at the Mulia Sayan Hotel, which at that time 6-star hotel in Jakarta. Like this hotel was so plush that I didn't leave it for the first 2 days. Like there was nothing outside in the world that I needed.
Yeah, everything was
Because
there.
it was all there. Because our band, it was pure band again. Our band was there and we were playing. So we had a 2-month thing, but I could only do 2 weeks of it and then maybe come back near the tail end. And so we're there. You got your own room, big, beautiful room, everything set up, you know, gym facility, sauna, spa, treated like a king. And all you have to do is go downstairs and do the gigs. That was it.
Wow.
So this was, would have been close to March, the beginning of March. And we'd been there for about 2 weeks. Everything was happening. I remember finishing the gig at midnight. And so we're sitting there chatting to friends, and these 2 Americans come in. And so they're like inebriated. And they're wandering around. I'm like, what's wrong with these 2 characters? And this went on for about 10, 12 minutes. And then one of them came over to me and said, oh, hi, mate. Hi, buddy. How you doing? You know, an American accent and all that. I said, hi, how you doing? I'm blah, blah, blah. I told my name. He said, oh, yeah, nice gig. I saw you out there. That was really good. Blah, blah, blah. Then he sobered up because he was not drunk. He said, look, I'm just going to tell you right now, we're here to protect American interests, but we're not allowed to carry any weapons because it's a 99% Muslim country. We're not allowed to carry any weapons. I would take you and your band, and you need to leave. You need to leave. Yeah, he just pulled me to the side. He said, you need to leave. They knew my military background because they were NIS.
Yep. Okay.
Naval Intelligence Service. They knew my background, everything. And they said, look, you need to get these people on. Y'all need to leave. It's not worth it. Okay. So naturally, you don't know how serious you take it, but they look pretty serious. And when he started telling me stuff about myself, I knew they was real. They had my dossier. I knew it was real. So I told some of the band members, and obviously they're going to be reluctant because they've never been in the military. They don't understand what it's like. And so that happened. So that was on a Wednesday. That next day, our leader of the band, one of our managers, she gets in the car. She's going to the city. And the cab driver says, we don't want your war. So even the people there knew what was getting ready to take place. Even your taxi driver knew what was up.
Yeah.
So he's driving and he drops off in some area where back then they'll kill you for $50 US. And so she panicked, right? So she rings the hotel, and naturally 6-star hotel, they send a car out immediately because they've seen this happen before, having people get extorted and all that stuff.
Okay.
So they pick her up. She's in a panic, crying and the whole thing. So we finished the show. We did the Thursday to Friday. Saturday, we flew out. Said, we got to get out of here. We renegotiate the contract, whatever. And then that Wednesday exactly was the first airstrike, 11:59 on Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those guys knew exactly what they were talking about.
That's so lucky.
They knew exactly what they was talking about. And I remember getting home. I got home that Saturday night, Sunday morning, and I said, well, let's just watch. Let's see what happens. And then that following Wednesday, 11:59 was the first strike. Those guys weren't playing.
No.
They were not playing. They knew exactly what they was talking about.
Wow.
That's so lucky.
I'm so lucky, man. And now I will say this. Had our manager not got abducted, they probably wouldn't have left.
Yeah.
I'd had to leave on my own.
They might have died.
But because that happened, they realized the danger, and they was out.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank God. For real. For real. Which is another subject. People better start getting right with the man upstairs because you can see it's crazy out here now. It is crazy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that is a priority too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That is a priority too. I know people always think, well, I'll do it on my own and all that. You can't really do it without God. When people say they don't believe in God, I say, okay, who made all these trees and birds and flowers and stuff? No human did that. No human did that. You can say what you want, but there's not a human being in the world that does that. He made the sun, the moon, the stars, and all that. Really? Well, what's his address? I need to speak to him. You know what I mean? But people don't want to hear that. But that's a reality. You look what's going on now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I feel for young people now because AI is going to take a lot of those jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of those entry level jobs, working at Macca's and all that.
Yeah.
That's going to be gone. They already, you hear people talking about investing in it, you know, and those companies that are making that AI stuff are already worth trillions of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
I'm glad you brought that up actually, because that's what Shaz said to me the other day in my new sort of direction, which I'm interested in. It's like, well, AI can't take away humans helping humans.
No, they can't.
Supporting others.
Can't touch it.
You know, so yeah, it's a good field to get into, not only because it's purposeful,
Yeah.
but it's it's a safe job.
Yep. 100%. Like the other day, they had this guy on telly. He said he's switching to AI. So he does a massage business. So they showed this machine massaging a human, right? And they said, what's been the response? He said, it's been very mixed because most people want human contact.
Yeah.
So it's certain jobs
Yeah.
that human contact will not be replaced.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would not. So they showed the machine at the end. So this was working on this person. I'm like, nah, man, I can't go to that.
No, it's not the same.
It's not the same, man. I can't go there. There was no conversation out of that.
I want to just quickly, what are we, an hour and 15? I want to quickly ask you a question. So fitness for you now, what does that look like? Is that still a big part of your life?
100%.
Okay.
Fitness for me now is get up in the morning.
Wait till you hear this.
Get up in the
I'm
morning.
glad I brought it up, yeah.
1,000 crunches, 100
1,000
push-ups.
crunches.
Look, 1,000 crunches, 3 different variants of the crunches, so it's
Okay.
not the same thing. But I do them straight. So I'd be doing ab work for about, today I did 1,000, so it's 18 minutes. And then,
Imagine how I feel after training in the morning. He tells me this as well.
yeah. So then, you know what I mean? I'll go 50 push-ups, and then by the end of, like yesterday, I finished up, I had done 2,200 crunches and 160 push-ups. Because I do them in sets of 50, 40, 30.
Okay.
So that's every day. I've been doing that for 8 years, since 2018.
Wow.
So
And now it's become
it's routine.
you won't let yourself down because you've set that bar. You
Set
like, well,
the
I have
bar.
to do it.
I said that, well,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to do it. A bad day, if I'm rushing, like I get up late, 500 and
Yeah,
50.
okay. Wow,
Then
that's
I'm
impressive.
out the door, training kids, trying to help them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so you just get in that routine. I go to the gym twice a day, 6 days a week.
Really?
Yeah, twice a day, 6 days a week.
And what does that look like? What do you do at the gym?
A little bit of cardio and then leg weights and then upper body certain days. And then I'll do a walk jog in between. I got a friend, me and him get out there, walk jog. And then at night, I'll go back to the gym stretching. I'm big on stretching.
Okay.
Because I always tell the kids, I have them just saying, stretching is good.
Yep, I remember
Do you
that
remember
one.
that?
I remember that one.
Water is good.
Water is good as well.
Water
That was
is good.
Yep.
And then stretching is good.
Yep.
Those two things.
Those
So
are
it's
the
no
sayings.
change.
No.
And I stay committed to it because I said, if you're going to tell the kids to commit, you got to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to do it. You got to walk the walk. You
Yeah.
can't just talk the talk.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I'm glad I brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I bet you feel great for it as well.
Oh, 100%. You feel 1,000% better.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, any day I don't do a workout, which usually I go 3 months straight and I'll take 1 day off. I feel funny.
Yep.
I feel like I missed out.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's weird when you get to that point in your life where you go, nah, I got to do it.
Yeah.
Just get up and do it. Why are you complaining? Just get up.
Do you find it hard first thing in the morning? Or hard doesn't come into the mindset?
Nah, once you
get it
got
done?
into it, because I've been in that routine so long.
Okay.
It feels
You
weird.
know, it feels normal.
Yeah.
Like I got my mat, I go do my push-ups, and then I finish when I do my first set, do those 50, When it get to about 48, 49, some mornings, like when it's cold,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
finish it.
Yeah.
Like, just finish that thing. What are you doing, Marine?
That's
I
the
always
Marine
drawing the
in you,
Marine.
yeah.
Finish that, Marine. Get out of here.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So
That's
so that's
amazing.
where I'm at.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So that's a brief on
Yeah.
on what I'm about.
That's a lot, but that's brief at the same time. No, awesome. Really appreciate your time. That was
Thank
a
you.
very, very entertaining chat.
Thank you.
And you're a beautiful human. And yeah, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Pleasure. Always good to see young superstars
Thank
getting it
you.
done.
Thank you.
So I will support that to the
Thank
end.
you. Thank you, Wayne.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Thanks, Zacho, for joining us, mate.
No worries.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was good.
All right, guys. Thank you.
You're
Peace.
welcome.
Laters.
Laters.